Good morning, girls. Hope everyone is well and safe at home. Now, girls, we are doing our topic Lahore Resolution. We had started with the background of Lahore Resolution, and today we will complete this topic. Now, open your books on page 54. Now, it's the time period when the Pakistan movement was at its peak. Clear? It was the time period when it was the need of an hour to have the quick decision. Clear? So, the Muslims of the subcontinent, they were organized under the leadership of Qaid-e-Azam. So the Muslims of each area of the subcontinent, they reached a general agreement. What was the general agreement? That the Muslim majority areas should be grouped into independent state. They should be given to the Muslims. So once the Hindus and Muslims, they saw that there is a complete control of British over the subcontinent, so they must wanted to have their movement be quick, because until and unless they should not be given a clear charter of having the complete hold of the Muslims in their majority areas, then it would not be possible to have their implementation of those rules and regulations followed by Quran and Sunnah. So the Muslims, they were of the opinion that the Hindus were not ready to recognize the rights of the Muslims, but they wanted to keep them under their influence. Clear? As I told you about the example of 1937 elections, that when 7 out of 11 ministries, they were given to the Hindus and they got the complete control, and then there was a day of deliverance, 22nd December, when they quitted out from their ministries. So under these circumstances, the Muslim leadership, they thought a demand of the separate state for the Muslims. Why did they need? So they might lead their lives independently without having any interference. So the idea of a separate country for the Muslims was not an you can consider that the idea of a separate country for the Muslim was an old one. It was not a new version. It was not a new idea that immediately came into the minds of the leaders and they applied for it, as it was also cleared by Allama Muhammad Iqbal in Allahabad Address 1930. Now come to the next paragraph, which we were left in the last lesson. The British, they were foreigners. Foreigner means from the foreign country. They had came to the subcontinent from the foreign country, and during the Second World War, 1939 to 1945, the possibility of their leaving the country, it was apparent. Apparent means it was very clear, it was very obvious that they would be no more a part of Indo-Pak subcontinent. Muslims had ruled over India for many hundreds of years, and they were in majority in the northwest and northeast of India. And Muslims could constitute means be equivalent a nation, that they had the capability to rule, as they have occupied the northwest and northeast of India, and they had ruled over the subcontinent for hundreds of years. So it means they have the capability to rule. The behavior of Hindus with Muslims during the Congress ministries was the eye opener, because they dealt with the Muslims in a very bad manner. Under the principle, Hindus, they were demanding the right of self-governance. Self-governance means they wanted to have their own action of manner of governing. They wanted to have their own terms and conditions to rule the country from the British government. The Muslims, they were also demanding the right of self-rule in their majority areas, and the establishment of the Muslim independent state was the only political solution of the problem of the subcontinent. Clear? So the establishment of the Muslim independent state, it was the only political solution of the problem of the subcontinent. That if Muslims, they would get their independent state, then they would lead their lives according to their own choice. Thus, the demand of establishment of Pakistan, it was justified. Justified means prove something to be right in every principle. Clear? So this is how the Muslims, they demanded the separate state for the Muslims where they could lead their lives according to the teachings of Quran and Sunnah. So write down a question with it. Some girls, they have put up the question, ma'am, we will do the back question or the questions from the chapter. Beta, whatsoever the guideline I am going to give you during my lecture, listen to it carefully and follow the instructions. So for this topic, you will write a note on background of Lahore resolution. Clear? Write a note on background of Lahore resolution. This is a complete answer. Clear? So you will do it. I'm not going to give you much work. On alternate days we are delivering you the lectures, we are sending you the videos. Now it's your task to do it in the same way. Don't pile up your work and do your work on time. Thank you girls. Take care. Allah Hafiz.